Alright, so this is the DB podcast. This is the Dark Podcast. Whatever's within the darkness shines within the light. And when you gaze into the abyss gazes back into you. And when the abyss gazes back into you, you gaze back into the abyss. Alright, so Stranger Things. Alright, cool. So the girl 11, once again. So this is basically just I wouldn't even put it as breaking down. Basically, introducing you to what psychic abilities really are, what psychological states of mind are. Dang, another cinema or series you could witness or observe about how these psychedelic states of mind, not necessarily work, but how it works actually is Rick and Morty. So they're basically traversing different dimensions and realms within the mind, okay, within the dimensions that exist within the mind, and they're able to access these dimensions through lucid dreaming. What Mortals refer to as lucid dreaming, astral projection, ethereal projection, which is what dreaming is, etc., etc., etc. So, and each dimension has a different state of phase of matter, which is how you know you're in a different dimension, is because everything appears differently within the mind, within yourself. You realize that you don't even what you believe to be called as look the same is because you're not in one form, you're in multiple forms existing in one moment constantly, because existence is constant. It's not permanent. It's not literal. It's literally just there. Okay? So yeah, so when it comes down to you being aware of yourself and in that state of mind, the most important part about you being able to attach to yourself while you're still in that state of mind is that if you don't, you have a psychological breakdown. If you kind of are in denial, but if you're not in denial, you're going through a psychosis, which means that you have yet to attach to yourself. It's just, and you could put it as like a signification or like a signal that you have yet to attach to yourself in that state of mind, which is why when you're in when you take psychedelics, as mortals will put it, you're like in that state, and then when they, as mortals put it, as it wears off, you're like, what the fuck just happened? So that's referred to as an episode. That the difference between that and actually being in a psychedelic state of mind versus a psychedelic episode is that when you're actually in that state of mind, it's gonna be permanent. It's gonna seem permanent. It's gonna be constant. Basically, it's not gonna be inconsistent. It's not about temporary and permanent, because everything that exists is temporary. Nothing is permanent. Existence itself is temporary, never permanent. Okay, because it can be taken away, and it can be there, because energy never dies. It just multiplies. Okay, that's why it's temporary, because it's constantly shifting, mutating, alchemizing, transferring, transmutation. Transmutation, transference, and transformation. Yeah. So basically shifting into a different state of mind, or basically, tuning into attaching to yourself while you're in a certain while you're in a state of mind is referred to as transcendence in New Age spirituality and mysticism. So that's referred to as transcendence, because you're basically attaching to yourself. Okay, so it's referred to as transcendental. So basically, you're tuning in is how you is another way you can put it, as you're deepening your connection, you're deepening your attachment with yourself. It's not that you're not attached to who you are while you're in that state of mind, it's that the attachment isn't deep enough. So when it's deep enough, you have a consistency of energy or energy flowing within your chakras, aka your mind portals, your voids, your your kachinas. So yeah, basically the gateways into the mind, into your mind, and through those gateways into your mind is also a portal into your soul. So that's why it's important to protect and shield and guard yourself spiritually, mentally, psychologically, and as well as what morals refer to as physically, but actually is actually truly called crystally. Crystally, as in like crystal, and then Lee. It's not a word, but it would be if you were disillusioned, okay, and others didn't try to orchestrate things in a certain way for you to manipulate yourself into believing that it's not a real thing, that it's not true, that it doesn't exist, blah 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 blah. Yeah. Okay. So basically, that's why this girl 11 is in that state of mind. Not only because she has a concentration of gamma radiation. Radiation is light, aka she's transcended into a deeper state of mind, which allows her not only to be attached to her spirit or her spirits, her soul, even though she's mortal. They use a mortal character, but if she was like a dark-skinned girl, 9 ether, okay, she would, if she was a Nubian, or a Nubian goddess, she would be, she would have a soul, and she'd be attached to that soul, and her attunement within herself, right? How deeply in tune she is with herself would allow her to basically access these abilities, these psychic abilities that she has, as well as her attunement to her vessel as well, so that she's able to ground. That way she's able to realize what's within her mind, and she can accurately, I wouldn't put it as like describe, but she'll be aware, like she'll be able to observe it within a constant state without it being like she's disconnecting and reconnecting. So connection is consistency, disconnection is inconsistency. So that energy flow is where your energy goes is where your attention flows. Yeah. So basically, she's able to pay attention to what's going on, which allows her to see things from a different perspective, from a deeper perspective, actually. And mortals refer to it as a different perspective, but no, it's a deeper perspective. You deepen your perspective. There are multiple perspectives, but the perspectives go inward. So when you there's no such thing as a higher perspective. That's not what it's truly called. It's a deeper perspective. It's not truly called a higher perspective. That is. It's not that there's no such thing. That's just not what it's truly called. And you may be like, why the fuck is it important what it's called? Dude, if you don't even know how to describe something, how the fuck are you supposed to be like aware of it? How are you gonna know how it works? You're gonna be fucking confused if you even ask yourself or anyone else says something like, well, how does that work? Or how do you do that? You won't even know how to do it if you don't know how it works. You won't even realize how to do it yet, actually, if you haven't even realized how it works. Okay? So when you have these, you may think words are not important, but your ability to describe what's happening within you accurately is what allows you to actually describe what's going on within you accurately. Like, as in what you're feeling, what you're seeing, and who you are being, what you're being, the way you're being, and etc., 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 and the way you're moving too, how you're moving, what moves you're making, etc. So it's not that it's important what words you use, it's important how you use him. So